So yeah, what other films came out in June 1990? I hear you saw all of them.
I saw all of them. Yes. So we also had Frankenhooker, which
What?
is yes. Wait, hold on a second.
That was
Now,
our other choice for poster boy.
yeah. So this is a horror comedy, and Frank Henenlotter. I don't know if you got have any of you guys seen Basket Case or what's the other big one? Oh, Brain Damage. Any of those movies? Well, anyway, he's a cult filmmaker, and this one is about this scientist whose girlfriend dies, and then he puts together using parts from hookers that he gives super crack.
As one does.
Right. And the weird thing about this movie is that it got a huge endorsement from Bill Murray because as they were editing this, he was doing quick change a couple a couple offices down, and he saw it and he loved it. So he said, if you're gonna see any movie this year, you see Frankenhooker. That's the quote he put out.
It's on the poster.
Yeah. It's garbage. I've seen it. It's terrible.
Not surprised.
It's not even funny in a campy way. Total Recall came out. Huge movie. There's a bunch of movies I'm gonna talk about right now that we could have easily had be the main focus of the show.
Yeah, we could go into it if we wanted. I mean, did we all see Total Recall at all? I saw it about a decade ago.
I've never seen it.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's worth it if you haven't seen it. It's one of the best Arnold Schwarzenegger films.
There's a lot of great movies.
I love it. So
no, it's a really good movie. It does the remake goes a little more into whether it's a simulation versus reality. This one is more decadently violent and satirical, which is what Paul Verhoeven does best. As a matter of fact, there was also the sequel to RoboCop.
Yeah, RoboCop 2.
Yeah, and do you know who it was directed by?
No.
Irvin Kushner,
who
directed Empire Strikes Back. It's not as good as Empire Strikes Back, but I do think it is a bit underrated, though. It's not as good as the first one. I mean, the first one's a classic, but I think it does continue the vein of very dark olive black humor. It goes off into too many subplots at the beginning until it finds its groove. I think the ending at the fight at the end's a little tiresome, but I think it's a solid sequel.
Okay.
You don't think so?
A lot of negativity right before you're like, but it's so good.
It is good.
Okay.
It's not. I'm just saying it's not as good as the first one.
I hear it's kind of regressive because it like you solved his problems. He killed off his killers, and then he has to do it again. I guess. I don't know.
No. They don't continue that. They go into a little bit of the identity crisis as to whether he still retains the memory of Murphy, but they conclude that within the first 20 minutes of the movie. So
okay.
Another sequel, another 48 Hours came out, which it's basically a carbon copy of the first movie. Hollywood legend has it that this was originally a 2.5 hour long movie that got severely cut down by the studio because they were worried that anything exceeding 90 minutes would be too long for the audience to keep their attention span. So as you watch the movie, you can tell there's stuff left on the cutting room floor, especially a lot to do with the villain. But yeah, it's if you've seen the first movie, you've seen this, and you've seen it done better in the first movie. Another sequel. This is the month of sequels. Gremlins 2. I personally think it's superior to the first one.
Yeah, I actually agree.
Yeah, ditto, concurred.
Do you remember? Did you watch Gremlins 2 with us, Jeff? I know Mike tried to show us all the 2 Gremlins.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I don't recall.
But this one is a very self-deprecating meta sequel. Like they even at one point make fun of the rules of how the Mogwais turn into gremlins and all the loopholes that have to do with that. Yeah, I think this one's actually superlative to the first one, but
Yeah.
I think maybe we're in the minority. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. This was one I kind of wanted to do, but Dick Tracy is the solid like franchise that we could have talked about. I think that this was a better choice to discuss for the podcast,
Right.
but this was my second choice.
The Days of Thunder came out, which I know you just saw.
Yep, I just watched
And,
it, so I actually knew what you'd be talking about. I've wanted to see the Tom Cruise films that, like, this is the one he met Nicole Kidman on, and then they went on and did Far and Away, and so I've been curious about what it was like back then. I didn't know this cast was in this. Like, it has Robert Duvall and John C. Reilly before he'd do Talladega Nights.
Right.
And Michael Rooker as his rival buddy, another driver in the NASCAR series. So good cast.
It's a fun movie. It's almost like a companion piece to Top Gun. It's not that much different in terms of Top Gun.
I also didn't realize it was Tony Scott who also did Top Gun.
Right.
So,
it's got a lot of his flashy direction in it.
Yeah. He's good at like second unit, like the driving scenes or like the flights in Top Gun. So
and then the last movie before we get to Poster Boy was I saw Betsy's Wedding, which I know you've seen.
Yeah.
Alan All, the directorial effort. Literally just watched it for the podcast. It's a very middlebrow, milquetoast movie. Yeah. It has a lot of forced pathos. The plot goes off in several different directions that have nothing to do with the wedding.
Yeah.
At one point, it becomes a gangster farce. I don't know why.
He's trying to be a little Woody Allen, I think, because
he is. There's a couple lines in there that definitely have could have had that Woody Allen delivery to them, but it's not nearly as good.
Yeah. Oh well.
But so, Poster Boy.
You ready, Jeff?
Yep. Let me allow you to do this again.
Yeah.
There we go.
Our favorite time.
Why we do the main feature? Do we just want to get to this?
Yeah, I know.
This is why people listen.
Yeah.
Even though they can't see it if they're listening.
All right.
I love the way you photoshopped this.
So,
I can't wait to describe this.
Okay. All right. Here we go. So there's an African-American family. A gentleman is peeking through the door, and by peeking, I mean phasing through the door, tipping his fedora and half of his briefcase at the three ladies that are just like, what are you? They're super excited. Looks like it could be a wife and two daughters. And I'm guessing it's a ghost thing. But the way that you blurred everything out, it looks like it could just be a No-Face spinoff.
Well, it's because of who the star is.
From Tracy.
Yeah, do you know, can you guess who the star is based on that?
Based on that? No.
Who was big in the 90s?
I'm gonna take a wild guess here. I want to say Winston, but it's not.
Nope.
Oh, that would have been cool. Ernie Hudson.
Hindsight.
You're Ernie Hudson. But so, I'm hang on. Oh shit, is it Cosby?
Let me skip ahead. I'm gonna give you the slogans that I blurred out.
Good for you.
He's been walking through doors. He's been falling through floors. He's been going through a lot lately, but he's still dad. I'm all right. No, well, hang on. Am I guessing the synopsis or am I guessing the title?
Guess the name first, and then we'll try to have you guess what actually.
Okay. I mean, Ghost Dad. I don't.
Oh my God!
You can kind of see.
Yeah. It's a ghost, and he's still dead. I mean, that's kind of.
5 letters and 3.
Oh, that's good.
You'll notice before you discuss the synopsis, the director at the bottom of this poster,
No.
Sidney Poitier.
I was gonna say, I want him to guess that.
Oh,
I'm
you
legitimately
would never
surprised. Yeah.
guess.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, you're right. I would never
Yeah,
have got
just the image alone.
Yeah.
I'm Jeff. You've never seen Ghost Dad, right?
I have not.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so
that's
that's
Oh,
why-
Jimmy, you've seen it too.
That's why we picked it for
I
poster.
got a little worried.
I knew he hadn't seen it.
All right.
So what do you think this is about?
A comedy sequel to Death of a Salesman.
That'd be good. Be better than what we got.
Like, it's just, I'm sure the dad dies in some accident, possibly insurance related, and then haunts the house and has, oh my God, there's his face. And has to, he just haunts his family, and they're kind of okay with it at first, but then he still like interrupts all dad like and is just like trying
He's
to
got Jello pudding in that briefcase.
watch out. Right, exactly. It's just
I almost made that
falling
scene
out the side. But he's just trying to like be a dad, and they're like, no, but you're dead, we need to move on. And
Well,
that's
actual
his whole
parents.
dynamic. And then there's going to be like a heartfelt scene at some point where like he comes to terms with the fact that he's no longer alive and needs to let them move on. But for the most part, it's just slapstick with him like closing doors and fucking with them.
Are we sure that Jeff didn't write the script for this?
Yeah, right.
Because he almost has it beat for beat.
Really?
Yeah. I think it's been a long time since I saw this. I remember it being horrible even as a kid. But Jimmy, you've seen it?
Oh yeah.
Okay. I think he dies, his car goes off a bridge.
Yep.
Jesus.
Okay.
It was a car accident.
Jeez.
And he's resurrected as a ghost. I don't exactly, not sure why. Something
Like
to do
Bill Cosby's
with,
Beetlejuice.
I wish. I mean, he is in real life. We know that. This is the alternate poster.
Yeah, I wanted you to read this slogan, Jeff.
As you've never seen him before, invisible.
If only.
At one point, he's wearing a white sheet that almost looks like he's a KKK member.
No.
That's kind of funny.
Oh, Bill. That was the worst thing you did for a while.
No. He also did Leonard Part 6.
True.
Bill Cosby didn't have a good track record with picking movies, well, along with other things,
Mm-hmm.
but picking movie vehicles for himself. What did you think of the movie when you saw it, Jim?
Me?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I just remember it was on and like it was there. I didn't not like it.
It's atrocious.
But like I definitely forgot it was a thing until like someone would make a Ghost Dad joke or talk about Bill Cosby, and then it was like because like that inevitably would come up would be Ghost Dad and all his other previous works. So,
Yeah, because that's the biggest joke about him now.
Yeah.
so like yeah, no,
I've never seen it before.
it's a comedy movie from the 90s. So like
Now, if anybody's wondering why Sidney Poitier would direct something like this, they did 3 movies together in the 70s.
Really?
A Piece of the Action, Let's Do It Again. I forget what the other one's called. Uptown Saturday Night.
What was it?
Uptown Saturday Night. They play con
That
men.
one.
And I guess they had an established relationship, and maybe I guess Cosby must have asked him, "Hey, you want to direct this movie?" And Sidney Poitier's like, "Yeah, I'm retired. I got nothing else to do." So
It's a shame.
it's terrible.
So we are pretty much done with everything else. I actually had a special request this time for picks of the month, because generally what we're doing is we're trying to compact the recordings, so it's not like we've seen a lot in between. So we may not always do like what's actually out right now. It's November 2020, but I was thinking, in light of one of our favorite actors passing away just a week and a half, Sean Connery, I was going to ask the three of you what your favorite Sean Connery movie is. So we'll
Dibs
do
on
You really
Zardoz.
put me on the spot now. I got to think of.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to do it.
Zardoz.
Exciting than like
Dragonheart.
Dragonheart, yeah?
Yeah, I don't know. Dragonheart.
We got to pick one, huh?
Yeah, I know. That's why it's tough.
Because I got three in my mind that I would definitely put up
Also,
there.
I gotta watch that now. You said Zardoz.
I did
Jeff.
say Zardoz,
Is that your
Oh, he's
favorite?
which I remember watching in some sort of whacked out fever dream several
Several
times.
Oh, I was about to say, you remember that? Like
Several
playing a
times.
drinking game. That movie is dangerous.
Yeah, which we
Yeah.
did.
I almost died that night. It was
Mm-hmm.
but it
Man
was
Who
also
Would Be
a sci-fi
King?
thing.
Man Who Would Be King, yeah?
Yeah, that or the Untouchables. But
That's what I was gonna go with. Untouchables.
so I guess I'll go with
And-
Man Who Would Be King. So we all have different ones.
Yeah. Yeah, the
Also
Untouchables.
Finding Forrester.
Because it's
That's a
his
good one.
film, but I didn't expect him to steal the movie. I think that's why he wins the Oscar. Because it's Kevin Costner's film and it's Sean Connery that takes it over.
Right.
What were you saying, Jeff?
Oh no, I was also throwing out Finding Forrester.
Oh, another one I haven't seen.
I was gonna say I could give you a couple underrated movies from him.
Mm-hmm.
There's I like Zardoz. In fact, I wrote an article on the website if anybody wants to.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
The Presidio is pretty good. It's fun.
Tony Scott.
Outland. No, it was Peter Hyams.
Oh, Peter Hyams. We were talking about Peter Hyams the other day. That's why.
Yeah. And also Outland with Peter Hyams.
Mm-hmm.
Right. The Hill is great.
I don't know that.
Sidney Lumet. It's black and white. It's one of his first film roles. See, I don't want to pick any of the Bond movies.
Well, what would you say was your favorite of the Bond films? I don't know if you two, Jimmy and Jeff, have seen all the Bond films, but I've seen at least all of Sean Connery's.
From Russia with Love.
Okay, I'd go with Goldfinger. I know it's the easy choice, but like he's his most suave.
I think I like the fight in From Russia with Love with Robert Shaw the best. I think that's the best fight scene with Connery.
Yeah. You Only Live Twice is underrated, I think.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I think so is the unofficial Bond movie, Never Say Never Again.
Yeah. I technically haven't seen that one. That's the one Sean Connery Bond.
Ooh. Well, if you've seen Thunderball, you technically saw it because it's the same plot, but
That's kind of why I put it off.
I think it's worth seeing. Irving Kershner again.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, we didn't even talk about the fact that he's Indiana Jones' father either.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
that's not my favorite performance he gives, but it is.
Can I say I'm underwhelmed by that movie?
Last Crusade is the best one, man.
Well, I guess that's pretty much it for this month. I hope if you're listening to this and are intrigued about Dick Tracy, we didn't spoil it all for you, but maybe you're listening to this after checking it out because we did it.
We spoil movies all the time here, so it's your own fault.
Yeah, it's 30 years behind, buddy.
Yeah.
Good
Let's
times.
get to it. Well, this is Jeff's first time seeing it. So remember to rate and subscribe us on iTunes and all our other locations. I hope you've been enjoying our journey through the Undiscovered Decade, and we're not even sure what we're doing next month. So we're going to talk about that after we stop recording. So
Cool.
hope you enjoyed Dick Tracy.
Outro music.